around him, his eyes still heavy but alert. "Did you sleep?" I asked. "A little. That was enough for now." "I'm going to take you to see a doctor today," I said. His expression changed slightly. "Am I in trouble?" "No," I said immediately. "It's just to make sure you're okay." He nodded. "Okay, no resistance, no fear, just quiet acceptance." That told me something else, too. He was used to being evaluated, questioned, observed, and that made my chest tighten again. "Come on," I said gently. "Let's get breakfast first." Downstairs, I kept things simple: toast, eggs, juice, routine, predictable, safe. He ate more this time. Not fast, not hesitant, just normal. And that, more than anything, felt like a small victory. After breakfast, I made the call. Rebecca answered with the same efficiency I remembered. "Lawson, Rebecca, this is Adeline Brooks." A brief pause. Then Adeline. "It's been a while." "It has," I said. "I wish I were calling under better circumstances." "That usually means it's serious," she replied. "It is. Go ahead." I explained everything. Condensed, precise. No emotion, just facts. When I finished, she didn't hesitate. "You did the right thing removing the child," she said. "Now we need to make sure that decision is protected." "How documentation first," she said. "Medical evaluation, photographs, written account from you, and we need to anticipate her next move." "She's already made one," I said. "What do you mean I think she's preparing to accuse us first?" Rebecca didn't sound surprised. "Of course she is." My stomach tightened. "So what do we do?" "We move faster," she said simply. There was a brief pause. "Bring the child in for evaluation today," she continued. "I'll have my assistant schedule you for a consultation this afternoon, and Adeline. Yes, do not communicate with her directly unless necessary. Anything you say can be used against you." I glanced toward Ethan sitting quietly at the table. Understood. When I hung up, I felt it again. That shift. The one that had started the moment I opened that door last night. This wasn't just a situation anymore. It was a process. And it had already begun. But before I could take the next step, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I stared at it for a second, then answered. "Hello." Silence. Then Adeline. "Rachel." "Of course." Her voice was calm, even pleasant. "I was wondering when you'd pick up," she said. "What do you want?" I asked. "I think we need to talk," she replied. "We already did." "No," she said softly. "We really didn't." I felt my pulse quicken. "Ethan is staying with me," I said. "That's not up for discussion right now." A small pause. Then, "That's actually exactly what I want to discuss." "Of course it was." "I'm busy," I said. "I won't take long," she replied. "But I think you'll want to hear this before you make any more decisions." Something in her tone made me still. Not urgency, not anger, confidence. "What is it?" I asked. Another pause. "Then if you don't bring him back today," she said calmly, "I'll have no choice but to report that you've taken him without permission." The words landed clean, sharp, deliberate, and just like that, the next move had been made. For a moment, I didn't respond. Not because I didn't understand what Rachel had just said, but because I understood it too well. This wasn't a reaction. It was strategy. "If you don't bring him back today, I'll report you." She wasn't asking, she was setting a timeline. I stepped away from the kitchen table, lowering my voice. "You go ahead and do that," I said calmly. There was a pause on the other end. Not long, but long enough. "I don't think you understand the position you're putting yourself in," Rachel replied. "No," I said. "I understand exactly what you're trying to do." Silence. Then, "And what is that?" she asked. "You're trying to get ahead of the story," I said, "before anyone else has a chance to tell it." Her tone didn't change. That's a very dramatic way of looking at a simple situation. "No," I replied. "It's an accurate one." I could almost hear her thinking, adjusting, recalculating. "You removed a child from his home without consent," she said. "That's not something you can just explain away." "I didn't remove him," I said. "He called me. He asked for help. And I responded. That's not how the law works. That's not how fear works either," I shot back. Another pause. Longer this time. Then she exhaled slowly. "I'm trying to keep this from escalating," she said, her voice softening slightly. "For everyone's sake." "No," I said. "You're trying to control how it escalates." Her voice dropped just a fraction. "You really should think carefully about what you do next." "I already have," I said. "Then you know what's at risk." I didn't answer that, because I did. Michael's job, his reputation, his legal exposure, everything Rachel had been holding over him, but there was something she didn't seem to understand. That leverage only worked when people were willing to stay silent. "I'll be in touch," she said finally, and then the line went dead. I stood there for a moment, staring at the phone in my hand. Then I turned back toward the kitchen. Ethan was watching me, quiet, still. "What did she say?" he asked. I walked over slowly and crouched beside him. "She's upset that you're here," I said. "Am I going back?" he asked immediately. There it was again, that question. I held his gaze. "Not today," I said. His shoulders dropped slightly, not relaxed, but less tense. "Okay," he whispered. I stood and checked the time. We needed to move, fast. "Finish your juice," I said. "We're going to see the doctor." He nodded and did exactly as I asked. No hesitation, no resistance, just quiet compliance. And that, more than anything, made me even more certain I was doing the right thing. The clinic was only 10 minutes away, a pediatric urgent care I had trusted for years, not because of convenience, but because of the way they handled children, gently, respectfully, without rushing. We checked in, and within 20 minutes we were called back. The doctor, a woman in her early 40s with a calm voice and steady eyes, introduced herself as Dr. Miller. "Hi, Ethan," she said, crouching slightly to his level. "I'm just going to check how you're doing, okay?" He nodded. She didn't push, didn't rush. She asked simple questions first. "How are you feeling today? Did you sleep okay? Any pain anywhere?" Then gradually she moved closer. "Can I take a look at your arm?" she asked gently. Ethan looked at me. I nodded. "It's okay." He rolled up his sleeve. The marks were still there, faint but visible. Dr. Miller didn't react dramatically. She simply observed, carefully, professionally. "Does this hurt?" she asked, pressing lightly. "A little," Ethan said. She nodded and made a note. Then she asked something else. "Can you tell me what happened?" Ethan hesitated. His eyes shifted. For a moment I thought he might shut down, but then. "She grabbed me," he said quietly. Dr. Miller didn't interrupt. "She got mad," he added, "and then she slapped me." The room went still, not tense, not chaotic, just still. Because the truth had been spoken, clearly, without confusion, without exaggeration. Dr. Miller nodded again. "Thank you for telling me," she said. That was it. No shock, no judgment, just acknowledgement. And in that moment, I saw something shift in Ethan again. Not relief, not yet, but recognition. Like someone had finally heard him and believed him. The rest of the exam was routine. But when it was done, Dr. Miller asked to speak with me privately. Ethan stayed in the room with a nurse while we stepped just outside. Her tone changed slightly, more serious. "I'm required to document this," she said. "And based on what I've observed and what he's reported, this meets criteria for concern." I nodded. "I understand. Are you his legal guardian?" "No," I said. "I'm his grandmother. He called me last night." She studied me for